If you're trying to decide between PeterMD and TRT Nation for testosterone replacement therapy, watch this before you spend a single dollar. I went through both of their processes start to finish, and one of them almost made me away from online TRT entirely. I'm not just reading off a spec sheet here. I went through the intake, the labs, the consultation, the whole thing. And the difference between these two clinics is not subtle. One of them felt like the doctor's office. The other felt like a used car lot. By the way, if you're already leaning towards PeterMD, the best deal I found is linked in the description. It'll save you money versus going directly to their site. So grab it before you sign up. I'm going to walk you through the intake process, the pricing, the consultation quality, and the actual result. And I'll let you know the one thing that TRT Nation did that made me close the tab immediately. So stick around because that part matters a lot if you're serious about this. Point 1, the intake process. Let's start with how each clinic actually brings you in. With PeterMD, you fill out a health questionnaire online, pick your program, and within 24 hours, a rep reaches out to walk you through your labs and your paperwork. It felt organized. It felt like someone was actually paying attention. With TRT Nation, the intake was fine on the surface, but the second I got on the consultation, I felt like I was being steered towards add-ons, HCG, extra medications, things that I didn't ask about. I just wanted to talk about TRT and couldn't get a straight answer without something else being pushed on me. That's a red flag right out of the gate. Point 2, the consultation quality. This is where the gap gets really wide. PeterMD requires a real video consultation with a licensed physician before anything is prescribed. It's a Zoom call, it's scheduled through the patient's portal, and the doctors actually reviewed my labs before we talked. They asked me about my lifestyle, my sleep, my goals. They even told me that the base of my levels, I could try some lifestyle changes before committing to TRT. That kind of honesty from a clinic that's trying to sell you something is rare. That's integrity. TRT Nation's consultation felt rushed. The provider was knowledgeable enough, but the whole thing had this energy that let's get you on a plan and get you out of here. And then there's the minimum order issue. They make you commit to 2.5 months of supply up front. I didn't even know if I liked the effects after 1 month. Why would I lock in for 2.5 months before I even know anything? Point 3. Pricing and what you actually get. Let's talk money because this is where PeterMD versus TRT Nation gets really interesting. PeterMD starts at $99 a month, all inclusive. That covers labs, consultations, and ongoing support. They also have the price match guarantee, and they are the only national men's health clinic that lets you use your own insurance for lab work. They charge a flat $25 processing fee for that. Labs start at $95 if you're paying out of pocket. HSA and FSA cards work too. TRT Nation makes you pay separately for blood work pre and post treatment. You're locked in to 2.5 months minimum. And if you want flexibility or a monthly plan, the pricing doesn't reflect the value of what you're getting. For what PeterMD includes in its one flat monthly fee, TRT Nation charges in pieces. That adds up fast. Point 4, what PeterMD actually offers. Here's something that most people don't realize about PeterMD. It's not just TRT. They offer testosterone replacement therapy, peptide therapy stacks, GLP-1 weight loss medication like semaglutide, sexual health treatment including sildenafil and tadalafil, hair loss programs, NED+, and longevity protocols, and advanced lab panels covering up to 129 biomarkers. They even have an at-home ketamine therapy program through a partner clinic. TRT Nation is basically a one-trick pony by comparison. If your health goals evolve, and they will, PeterMD can grow with you. TRT Nation probably can't. Point 5, ongoing support and results. After you start treatment, what happens? With PeterMD, you get monthly check-ins, portal messaging, and plan adjustment whenever your body needs them. The medication is shipped discreetly from the pharmacy directly to your door in clear label, individual dosed packaging. Everything is HIPAA compliant and encrypted. I started noticing changes in my energy and mental clarity within the first couple of weeks. My sleep improved, my drive came back, not in just the obvious way, but in the ambitious sense. The focus, the get up and go that I haven't felt in a while. With TRT Nation, I never got far enough to feel a result because the process itself lost my trust before I even got to the medication. Look, I'm going to be straight with you because that's the only way this is useful. PeterMD is not available for lab work in every state. Alabama, Arkansas, California, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Michigan, Idaho, and Hawaii have restrictions for their lab testing. So if you're in one of these states, you'll need to check their site for your specific option. Also, insurance doesn't cover the treatment themselves. Only the lab work is potentially covered through your insurance. Everything else is out of pocket, and all sales are final because these are prescription products. Those are not deal breakers for most people, but you should know going in. PeterMD, it's a no-brainer. If you're a man over 35 dealing with a low energy, brain fog, low libido, poor sleep, and you want real physician-led solutions without driving to a clinic, you want one flat monthly price with no surprise fees, you want a clinic that will actually tell you if you don't need TRT yet, skip TRT Nation. If you don't want to be upsold on your first consultation, if you're not ready to commit to 2.5 months of supply before you even know if it works, you want flexibility and transparency in your pricing. After going through both of PeterMD versus TRT Nation, comparison isn't even close. TRT Nation is a legitimate service, but the pricing structure, the minimum commitment, the upsell energy during the consultation just didn't sit right with me. PeterMD is the one I actually trust. They have over 300,000 patients. They operate in all 50 states. They're physician-led, and they were honest with me even when honesty meant telling me that I might not need their product yet. That's the kind of company I want to manage my hormones. If you're going to try PeterMD, don't pay full price. I've dropped the best deal link I found in the description below. It's the same one that I used, and it will save you money right out of the gate. And honestly, the moment they told me to come back in a few months later, if I wanted to try some lifestyle changes first, that's when I knew I wasn't going anywhere else.